Hi, welcome to this episode of Spock Home Tools. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit today about Bagman Mugger, go through some of the settings, show an example of how to use it. And so what we will do, I'm not going to take the time to explain how to run a bookmarklet. That's for another episode, or Josh Miller has done a great video on explaining that. But I'm going to go ahead and walk through the intricacies of the Bagman Mugger. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the Bagman Mugger here. This needs to be run on an unframed Mafia Wars page. And as you can see, when the Bagman Mugger comes up and loads, there's several key components to the page. The first thing to notice in the left-hand corner is the Facebook ID. Mine is blurred out just to keep things not exposed out there. And then the limit friends is the number of friends that the bookmarklet will check. This is kind of an interesting quandary. It defaults to about 4,900. You can potentially have up to 5,000 Facebook friends. However, oftentimes, if the contents of the money bag list field, the big white box in the center, don't load up, oftentimes it has to do with the delays in the Facebook query that we use to pull in all that data. And so what you'll want to do is go ahead and reduce that value, and then use the then click here option to go ahead and try to pull in new data. Now, another couple of key components to notice is that on the right-hand side of the page is a delay, just very similar to many of our bookmarklets, and then there's a leech check. The leech check is actually what it does is it looks for anyone who either does not have a timestamp on their profile page in the favorite quote section, or it looks and sees if your money bag link is older than 48 hours. If it's older than 48 hours, then you'll get a leech check failed, and you will not be able to run the bookmarklet. Other key features to look for: time in hours. This is the number of hours you're going to actually set your bookmarklet to scan for. And so the default I usually use mine at is very high, so I check all the bags that I can potentially get. However, you may want to limit it to 48 hours and only pull in people that have put up new links within 48-hour time span. The next step is the skip bags. Skip bags is handy if, for example, you go ahead and start running the bookmarklet and you get 50, 60 bags in and your internet connection drops off or something like that. You can come back, rerun the bookmarklet, and then just jump ahead by changing the value in this field to, say, 45 bags, and it will jump ahead 45 bags on your subsequent runs. If you want to go ahead and put your information in your favorite quote section, we've conveniently provided links down here, and so you would be able to right click on the new money bag link, and then you will be able to copy the link location, and then just if you click the link here to favorite quotes, it opens up a new tab or a new window, and then you just paste the information you've gotten on your new money bag link. There have been some cases where people say that their timestamps are not showing up. We haven't figured out exactly what's going on with that, but if you're not seeing a time here, then we still need to do some research to figure out what might be going wrong. The last option on the page is the debug, and that's mainly for Spock home staff to run some checks and tests, and we just gave ourselves an easy interface to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start up the Bagman, and as you will see, it'll just now start scanning through your tools, and it will go ahead and show you the results as it goes through each and every one of the bags that it's found. So of all the scans it's done, it found 417 available bags. On this page of note is that the majority of the items here from old, already collected, invalid, expired, non-friends, etc., they used to be very detailed error reports that we used to get as a result of running the bagger. But Mafia Wars has resorted to providing a one-size-fits-all generic ugly message, and that's why this count has, as of late, got tremendously high. So If there are any invalid links or whatever else, before too long you will see them show up here in the log section. You can adjust the log size just like you can also on many of our bookmarklets. And so for today, that is the Bagman Mugger. I hope to be putting some more of these videos together for you. And as always, Spock on!